Hi everyone, my name is Ashley. I got accepted into NYU, my dream school as a transfer student. So I wanted to come on here and share some of the experiences that I've had throughout the entire transfer application process in hopes of helping you guys. When I was applying, I could not find any resources online about transfers or how to transfer, so hopefully this helps. I'm going to be going over what actually matters in the process, walk you through my personal experience, why NYU, the Common App, my essay, challenges and mistakes, and some advice. So stay tuned. So here's a little bit more about me. I'm transferring from University of Central Florida, UCF. The reason why I wanted to transfer was, so it all started in junior year of high school when I went to one of their pre-college programs at NYU called the High School Intensive Art Program, and I lived there for a month, stayed in like the freshman dorms, and really got to experience like what it was like being a student there. I really like fell in love with it. I made some of my bestest friends there. That entire experience for me was so life-changing. Going there, I knew I wanted to go to NYU, whether it was for my bachelor's or for my master's. I just knew I had to get in, and I had this intimate connection with NYU that I really never had with any other school. So number one, I just really loved the school, and getting to experience it made me want to be there even more. Obviously it's in New York City, like who doesn't want to live in New York City? I just love like always being around people, like always having something to do, and how it's so convenient there. Like I just get out of my apartment and I can go to like anywhere that I want, and there's so many things around me. So the difference between the people there want it as bad as you, and they have passion for what they are studying or what they want to do, and I think I haven't like really found that here at my school. Truly, I just knew like from the get-go that I did not fit in, didn't really love the school that I'm at right now. Obviously I really appreciate my school for like giving me all of these connections and opportunities, because they've really helped me grow as an individual, but I feel like NYU is definitely the next step for me as a person and to grow. With internal struggles, I wanted to share that and be a little vulnerable with you guys. I got rejected in high school, and so I had this like obviously internal fear that I was gonna get rejected again. It gets to you, you know, like getting rejected, it's not fun. Rejection is redirection. I say that because honestly, like it's true. I've grown so much here at UCF, and I couldn't be like more grateful for all the opportunities that I've got here. But also, I definitely felt confused. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I am a early childhood education major, also minoring in business. Even though I knew I wanted to go to NYU, I still like in my freshman, sophomore year, I wasn't really sure. And by the way, I am transferring as a sophomore, so I'm gonna be a junior when I get to NYU, but I'm not 100% sure that I'll graduate on time, so hopefully I do. But if I don't, I'm just kidding, I need to graduate on time. But yeah, I've definitely felt a lot of like uncertainty, because I would always compare myself to other people, and I feel like that's very prevalent. We're all trying to compare ourselves to each other on LinkedIn, on Instagram, like whatever it is, social media. I honestly didn't feel like that I had a strong application coming in. All I could like tell myself and share with you guys is that try your best. You never know what can happen, you know, take advantage of all the opportunities that are given to you, and that's what I did my freshman and sophomore year. And I think that really also helped me, because I was able to step out of my comfort zone and do things that I normally wouldn't have done in high school. And I think that was also played a big role, is the mentality that you have, like knowing your goal and doing everything that you can to take the risk and do it. So next I'm going to talk about why NYU specifically, and that is a question NYU loves to ask people. I kind of said it before, I loved NYU. Like, it doesn't have its own campus. I know a lot of people like going into college, they want to have like a campus. They really embed the city with the school, which I personally love. Since I'm an early childhood education major and business, I wanted to go into Steinhardt, but 2 months before I started to like start the application, I found out about Gallatin. Gallatin is School of Individualized Studies. So you create your own concentration based on all of the things that you're interested in. I have a lot of interests, and I think like going into Gallatin, that multidisciplinary freedom that you get and the curiosity really pushed me to apply for Gallatin instead of Steinhardt or Stern, because I know Stern is really hard to get into, so I really did not think I could get in. And Gallatin is just like the perfect fit for me too. So I really love NYU's study abroad program, odd places, and they have like 15 different locations. You can literally be anywhere around the world and still be at NYU. Like, that's the coolest thing ever. So 100% do your research, because you need to know why this school fits you personally, and that's the number one thing that they want to see on the application. Next, we're gonna go into the application breakdown. There are 4 sections that you need to fill out in the Common App, so we're gonna go a little bit into that. So from this login page, they already have a button where you can click transfer student, and then you obviously sign in with your username and password, and then there will be personal information, academic history, supporting information, and program materials. So the personal information is really easy, like that's just like all the information about you. So I want to like stress that the personal information part is also really important, because you want to make sure that everything is correct on there. Like for example, if you're going into business and your parents are like business owners, like literally like make sure to put their job that they're business owners, because that kind of like shows that there's a lineage. Like if your parents are business owners, then you're more likely to like be a business owner. I know that sounds like a little silly, but like the little things really do matter when it comes to your Common App. So make sure to put your high school that you attended. I attended 2 high schools, so I actually attended 3 high schools, but I put the 2 main ones, because the other one that I went to, I went for like a month. Because all that really matters is that school with the transcript that has everything that you did, or all the classes that you did in high school. So make sure that all of your personal information is correct. Me and my college advisor spent like hours making sure that my Common App was correct. Hi guys, I'm editing the video right now and I realized I didn't even say my stats. I had a 3.91 GPA when I applied, and I submitted no test scores, no ACT, SAT, or AP test scores, because they were bad. And I also submitted my high school transcript, because all of that is required except for test scores. And I think I had like a 3.7, high 3.7 something. Schools like NYU really want to see you're either growing. If you have a low GPA in high school, they want to see in college that you have improved and that you're consistent in keeping your scores up. And for someone like me who didn't really have too good of stats in experiences, I tried to keep my GPA as high as possible, and that just creates a really good foundation for you overall. So make sure your grades are good, unless you have really good stats or experiences to back it up. For my experiences in the Common App, you can't rank your experiences. It'll rank them for you based on how recent you did the experience. Most of mine were extracurriculars, because I did a lot of that in my first 2 years. In the details, I tried to like keep it simple. I put like maybe 2-3 bullet points at most, and if it's like an experience that really shaped or was very impactful, then I would put like 3 or 4. For example, like the homecoming marketing director, I wrote manage a marketing budget and 15,000 Instagram audience to promote one of the nation's largest campus events, attracting 30,000 attendees annually. And then the next bullet point, I wrote like collaborate with 10 directors, program advisors, and university leaders to execute a 50+ year campus tradition. So just making it really like sweet and simple and straight to the point. I'll just like say my top 3. The next one is I'm founder and president of this club that I created starting my sophomore year of college. It's called the Bridge Initiative. My top 3 bullet points, I put founder of student-led organization connecting UCF students with underserved Orlando communities, providing financial literacy, college prep, writing, and life skills programs for 200+ students. Second bullet point, lead a 7-member exec board and partnership with nonprofits, Title I schools, and university departments to expand community initiatives. Third bullet point, coordinated a community food drive, distributing 100 plus pounds of food to families in Orlando food deserts during Thanksgiving. That experience really was great because I knew I wanted to start a club in my freshman year, and I really recommend doing that because it shows that you want to take initiative, but just make sure that the club is something that isn't already at your school. The next experience that I have is I was associate director of leadership week at the leadership program that I was in, and this was a huge event. Put up 30 events in an entire week, but I wrote co-led a member team to organize week-long conference including 26 leadership workshops and speaker events, manage logistics, partnerships with university and community leaders, coordinated events engaging 700 plus students, and collected 600 plus evaluations to assess program impact with 95% positive feedback. So that percentage and numbers are really important when it comes to writing your resume or your experiences. I put 16, 17. I put 17 things. But keep in mind that 3 of them are connected to one job that I did. It was just different positions, so that way they can know what I've done through each position because I've been there for a couple of years now. So I really wanted to go more in depth of what I did in each one. So for example, earliest experience was being a volunteer as a classroom assistant. So for example, I assisted teachers with elementary age children during summer camp and after school programs, supporting activities, field trips, daily classroom routines, recruited and led a group of 7+ peers from tennis camp and high school to volunteer, coordinating their hours and participation. So really just going in depth into everything that I've done. I put so much time and effort. I think I put hours upon hours and hours of time just checking, rewriting, making sure that everything actually reflects my application. Most of it is extracurricular activities. I had 1 internship, had employment for about a few years, just also volunteering as well. So I think through the experiences part, they really also want to see that you are a well-rounded person and that you're not only doing a job, but you're also doing volunteering, you're doing extracurriculars, you're being really involved at your school, outside the community, etc. Okay, next we're gonna move on to achievements. So for achievements, I don't really have too much. I put that I was on the deans and presidents list. I had put a little bit of my awards in art. I won 2nd place in this leadership art show. A scholarship that I got, scholar spotlight in my lead scholars program. I wrote that I was selected as a scholar spotlight among the first year recipients out of the 400 plus lead scholar students for outstanding community impact, volunteer service, and leadership. And then I also put, one of my peer mentors noted, I really admire Ashley's ability to walk into a room and make everyone smile. I would like to recognize her for being a great volunteer at the recent open house. She was a great help in telling the interested individuals what it means to be a lead scholar. So also having people saying what you did is also really helpful. And if you know you want to transfer, make sure that you're writing down everything that you're doing during your first year. So once you have all that, it's so much easier just to input it in there instead of thinking over and over again what you did. So all of this I kind of built up on itself. So really start the application as soon as possible too. And then I will put my resume up for you guys, but it is pretty jam-packed on here, I cannot lie. I also put that I was interested in the other schools if they couldn't admit me to Gallatin. So I put Stern, Cass, Global Liberal Studies, Tisch, and Steinhardt because those are connected to what I'm interested in. So make sure not to click random schools. Make sure that they're tied into what you're actually interested in and what you show in your application. And I will read my statement. So the question is, please provide a statement that addresses your reasons for seeking transfer and the objectives you hope to achieve. How can NYU and the particular school, college program, and or area of study you're applying to support these goals at a 2,500 character maximum? I cannot stress enough to tell you guys how stressed I was writing these essays. I knew I had to start really early on, but I ended up submitting it like 10 p.m., 2 hours before the deadline. So literally make sure you start your essay as soon as possible. It is the most important part. I'm not saying the other things aren't important. I'm saying the essay is really important because NYU truly values the essay of all of the applications because they want to see who you are as a person and speak to the admissions officer. I'm gonna read you guys my essay. It's literally so short. Like, this is from here to here is how long it is. At age 16, I became the mother of 86 children. At least that's how it felt. My days stretched from mornings filled with nursery cries to afternoons in the office where parents discussed tuition and quietly admitted that they could barely afford dinner that night. The tension followed me home to the dinner table where my father sat in frustrated silence over his rice bowl, grappling with the constant turnover of teachers. Watching these gaps unfold, I began to understand that the foundation of a child's life is not only shaped in the classroom, but by the systems, policies, and environments surrounding it. When I entered UCF, I continued to explore those questions by connecting my coursework in early childhood education with hands-on work in my father's childcare centers. Yet the program structure limited my ability to examine the broader gaps between pedagogy, childcare expansion, and public policy. Only at Gallatin can I design a multidisciplinary curriculum guided by specialized seminars and world-renowned mentorship to bridge the questions shaping my work. Inside our classrooms, I have seen how teacher turnover disrupts stability during critical developmental stages. Through my internship at Turbo AI, I began exploring how learning technologies could reshape these environments. At Gallatin, I'm eager to combine Tandon's human-computer interaction courses with Dr. Seel's teaching at Steinhardt to examine how AI can support more stable and inclusive early childhood classrooms. Seeing my father struggle to expand our centers also showed me that strengthening early childhood education requires sustainable systems beyond the classroom. Gallatin's interdisciplinary flexibility would allow me to explore these challenges from multiple angles. At Stern, learning from Dr. Okan and courses such as Marketing for Impact will help me combine my passion for the arts and marketing with ethical strategies to scale our childhood franchisee beyond Florida. At Wagner, I'm thrilled to take policy formation and policy analysis, building on the civic engagement I began through organizing canvases and my work with Bridged. Immersing myself in New York City's early childhood education networks and universal childcare initiatives will further connect that advocacy to the policies shaping our classrooms. From classrooms to legislation rooms, Gallatin will equip me with the mentorship and tools to strengthen and expand early childhood education in Florida and beyond. So as my entire essay, I actually went into more depth in how I can connect engineering courses with AI. I really wanted to be able to take advantage of everything that I could and put it in this essay. So it really has a lot of layers to it, and don't go all into like why this school isn't the fit for me. Really like lean on what NYU can help you in and what you can bring to NYU. Like 2/3 of my essay was about what I want to do at Gallatin and NYU and how all the classes and experiences in New York City can shape me and what I want to do. The essay is such a great way to tie in all of your experiences into one and why you want to go to NYU. I honestly I was stressing over this essay. I hated it so much after I submitted it because my parents loved the essay that I wrote before because they inspired it, and I completely trashed it and wrote this new essay in 2-3 hours. Had my brother read it, and then I submitted it. I was like, freak it. I actually do really like this essay now that I read back on it. Before I actually hated it. For the essays, I have one more thing. Literally, just be yourself. Reference letters, oh my gosh, they are so important. Try your best to find and make connections with your professors. Oh my god, there's people walking by my window. I focused on professional, academic, and personal. There are 3 categories that they give you. So my professional, I asked a mentor of mine I worked with at the preschool. And second, academic was from my English professor in my first year. What they want to see is that connection that you have with the professor and how much they can talk about you. Third I had was from a personal, this was more leaned towards like community impact. Hi guys, I just wanted to clarify that the third recommender was from the director of a temple that I volunteer and work at. And so make sure to focus on creating connections with people that you normally like wouldn't connect with. Take advantage of those connections that you have. So for example, like I was pretty close with all of these people and knew that coming in like for the recommendation letters, I knew I had to find people that were in a higher position, and I knew that they were a good fit to write me a recommendation letter. So I really tried to enhance those connections and also give them gifts when I could, like during the holidays, to get them to want to write my letter more. I think literally like taking advantage of everything that you can on the application is the most important part. Okay. Challenges and mistakes. So what I underestimated is honestly never underestimate yourself. Always think good about yourself. I think that was a thing that I really struggled with, was I thought that I wasn't good enough, and all of my experiences weren't as good as other people's. So just having confidence in yourself, really, I think that's the biggest thing that everyone like struggles with, is being confident in yourself and who you are as a person, and really letting that show throughout your application as a whole. But yeah, that's about it. Good luck, everyone. If you're transferring or if you're applying as a first year, I really hope this video helped you. And if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me. I will link my Instagram below, so if you want to reach out to me. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Good luck, you guys. Mwah.